Now to our coverage of the Democracy Day protest. In Lagos, despite resistance by security operatives, protesters ensured their voices were heard as they thronged the popular Gani Fawayimi Park, venue of the planned June 12 protest in Ojota. Abimbola Agbebi reports.
The popular Gani Fawayimi Park in Ojota on Saturday, the morning of the Democracy Day. At first, there were no protesters inside, but men of the Rapid Response Squad were seen at strategic locations. At this point, one could only imagine that perhaps the warning given by the State Commissioner of Police was heeded by the protesters. But the mood soon changed at about 9:30 a.m. as protesters began to converge. They were sighted few meters away from the security officials marching towards the protest ground. Vehicular movements were immediately placed on hold, and soon the crowd of protesters were dispersed by the police, who were firing tear gas, shooting into the air. The protesters later reconvened at Ojota. This time they stood few meters away from the park. More security operatives moved in with men of the Rapid Response Squad.
Moments after some protesters were dispersed by security operatives here at Ojota area venue of the planned June 12 protest, this group of protesters came in. They say their voices must be heard.
Out here to protest, and the police officers are making it difficult. I mean, they've tried to just disperse us by throwing tear gases and shooting in the air, so they're just really trying to frustrate our efforts.
Look, how many people do you have here that is posing a threat to the government? So, and that is what happens when you have a government that is not even ready to listen to the people. Because if you use your social media, there's problem. If you come out to protest, there's problem. So for you to be shrinking our human rights now is appalling. It's an embarrassment, and I know that the president can do better.
While the protesters were at it, the State Commissioner of Police addressed the demonstrators, urging them to channel their grievances through appropriate quarters. He also warned security officials not to be overzealous.
Anytime there's going to be a protest, they should notify police, not to take permission from police, so that we too can give them security, because they too are entitled to security, to be protected. And I equally advise that they should inform the state government that they want to protest. This is the route, this is where they are going to. So in other climes, a park like this is meant for that.
Elsewhere at Ekpetedo in the heart of Lagos Island, where the acclaimed winner of the 1993 June 12 elections made his declaration, there was relative calm. Then at Lekki Tollgate, there was the base of the End SARS protest last year. Vehicles moved freely with no interruption. There was no protester in sight.
The majority of the youth are learning, and they know what is right and what is wrong. That's why I said the End SARS situation was being hijacked by the hoodlums and the miscreants. And the youth have now reasoned that there's no necessity of doing things that people won't be able to talk together. And we don't want that to repeat itself again.
At Maryland, the story was the same. Few people that ventured out of their homes moved freely. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.